All right, back live with you tonight here on In Focus, and thanks for staying on. The reopening of the Cradock Four inquest has been postponed to next week. The inquest into their killings was due to start in the High Court in Gqeberha today. Fort Calata, Goniwe, Sicelo, Mhlauli and Sparrow, Mkhonto were murdered by the apartheid police in 1985. For reaction on the story, I'm now joined by Gift Ngqondi, Head of Communications for the ANC in the Eastern Cape. So Ngqondi, good to have you, and thank you very much for coming on this evening. Others are saying, well, better late than never, but also there's been reaction to the fact that this matter has been postponed again. Of course, today, the two applications that would have been covered had got to do with legal costs and so on and so forth. What is your reaction as the ANC?
Of course, thanks very much, and thanks for the opportunity, and welcome your viewers at home. Look, I think first and foremost, the ANC in the province reaffirmed the decision taken by former Minister of Justice, Comrade Ronald Lamola, if you recall, late last year, to act on the recommendations of the NPA to approach the Judge President of the Gqeberha High Court in terms of Section 178.1 of the Inquest Act of 58 of 1959 to appoint a judge to reopen and direct the inquest into the killing of Comrade Goniwe, Sparrow, Mkhonto, Fort Calata, and Comrade Mhlauli, known as the Cradock Four. And that's what we witnessed today at the Gqeberha High Court, because that fateful day of the 27th of June, 1985 will never be forgotten, especially when you look at some of the widows and kids and children of the Cradock Four. You will see tears falling down your face, because some of us were in the struggle during the time involved in the student youth struggles. Look, I think to us as the ANC in the province, we strongly believe that the successful prosecution of apartheid-era atrocities will send a clear message that there will be no impunity for apartheid crimes, and remain firm that there must be a full disclosure, because that's what some of the legal representatives displayed today, that there must not only be a closure on this for families, but there must also be a total disclosure of the truth and circumstances surrounding the Cradock Four assassinations. Also, look, this inquest, although it has now been postponed, as you indicated, from the 2nd of June to the 20th of June, 2025, you will also recall that next year, it will be the 40th commemoration of the killing of the Cradock Four. So that's why some of us were praying that the court make sure that this inquest sit before that commemoration, because on the 27th of June, 2025 will be commemorating the 40th year of the killing of the Cradock Four. Because to us, this gives hope to all the families of the victims of apartheid, ruthless and heartless machinery, which brutally killed not only the Cradock Four, by the way, and also many political activists, that justice will finally be served, and that all those who were behind these killings, include their political masters, paid heavy price for their deeds. And that's what we've been praying for, and this is what has transpired today. But unfortunately, now the inquest has been postponed, and you will hear during the proceedings that the legal representatives of the former South African police and the former South African Defence Force complained that they were not notified in fact, they were notified too late to prepare for the inquest, and have not been able to secure state funding for their legal cost to represent some of those people who were behind the killings of the Cradock Four.
Do you think they are necessarily dragging this matter by that?
I'm not quite sure, but we are of the view that justice delayed is justice denied, because families now, they want closure on the matter, and so that we know who was actually behind the brutal killing of the Cradock Four. You recall also that some of those who were in the state security apparatus of the then apartheid government, some of them have passed away, but at least there are still those who are still surviving. Your Christopher Pierre van Versdezen, your Craig Williamson. If you know, Craig Williamson was one of those super spies during the apartheid era. Your Isaac Johannes Engelbrecht is one of those who were sitting in the State Security Council ordering the killing of political activists. Your brutal Eugene de Kock, who is out now. These are some of the people who were behind some of the murders, atrocities that our people endured during the apartheid regime, including the former head of the National Intelligence Service, Neil Barnard, they are still surviving. And these are the people who must come and answer in the inquest so as to say who ordered the killings of these heroes of our struggle.
Now, of course, some of the victims, as you know, some have already passed away. Others are quite old. And this matter of the delay, not sitting very nicely with the families, calling it a bittersweet moment.
Of course, because this is also one of the issues that was raised by the legal representative of the Calata family, that some of those perpetrators, ruthless political criminals of the time, are still surviving. And the unfortunate part is that some of them are aging. And I'm told the youngest of them is about 74 years old. All the others are about 82. The other one is 79 years. The other one is 8 years. And looking at the time that this inquest will sit, which is probably next year, I won't know whether some of them will still be surviving, because some of them have just passed on without even giving of what they have done in order for them to testify as to who was behind, who gave the orders. The unfortunate part is that some of them, including your de Klerk, are gone to answer into the inquest as why they decided to murder and to remove from society heroes for our struggle, who wanted to make sure that this country is free. Some of us, we can enjoy the fruits of freedom that we're enjoying today. But also, let me also indicate that the ANC in the province reaffirmed the ANC stance that our government must expedite the ratification of the International Convention on the Suppression and Punishment of the Crime against Apartheid, which was enacted in 1973, that declared that apartheid is a crime against humanity, as resolved also in our ANC Lekgotla in 2020. Because to us, the ratification of the convention will allow the prosecution of these outstanding apartheid-era crimes against humanity under national as well as international laws to ensure that justice is done to all those who we see as being victims, and that's why we keep on supporting them, and we'll support them even next year.
Yeah, the Cradock Four case is one of 22, if you like, in the Eastern Cape that the Hawks is currently investigating. Are you confident that these cases are going to be brought to book? I mean, considering that some of them are so old.
Yeah, they will. Some of us were engaging the Hawks. They were part of the proceedings today at the court. And we're saying to them that there are many cases in the Eastern Cape, and one of those cases is the Pepco tree. If you recall, Pepco tree was also abducted at the old Port Elizabeth Airport in 1985, and their bodies were found charred. And some of those who were behind those killings have not been brought to book. And that's why time is moving very fast, and we want all those who were behind the killings to be brought to book and answer for their deeds.